Check that out, everybody. Peanut butter Oreo crusted cheesecake, dark chocolate on top, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, half of them, crumbles, and more Oreos, a little bit of dark chocolate and white chocolate ganache, finished with whipped cream. This cheesecake has got to be fantastic. Easy recipe is right in the description. Give it a try. And please also remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share so you can see more of these great recipes. Let's go. Boom! This could be one of the best cheesecakes I've ever made in my kitchen. A combination of peanut butter and chocolate. Not just any type of peanut butter though. Check this out. Peanut butter Oreos. Mr. Christie, you make a good cookie. Of course, we've got Reese Peanut Butter Cups. Probably going to top it off with some of those. And even some Mr. Beast dark chocolate Feastables. Melted chocolate on top of the cheesecake before the Reese Peanut Butter Cups. So let's bake. Let's get to work. Where's my hat? Here we go. Okay, step one, Oreos. So, I've got, I think, 2, 4, 6, 7, 35 Oreos in. 7, 14, 21, 28, 30, 2, 4, 35 Oreos in. Lock it in and pulse it. That's all we have to do here, pulse it. Let's check that out. Crumbly, looks crumbly, okay. Now, I've got half a cup of melted butter. I'm just gonna add in about a half of that, so a quarter cup to start. And then pulse it again. Now I'll add in a little bit more. Another mix. Perfect. Unlatch, unplug. So blade, since we don't need that anymore. Safety precautions. We'll just give this another nice little mix. And if it's too grainy, I still have a little bit of the butter left. It's supposed to be like wet sand in here for the crust. So let's take a look. We know it's well combined since we process. Let's take a look. Wet sand, that's pretty good. We don't need to add any sugar to this crust because the cookie has plenty of sugar in it already. Excellent. So nice and combined. Excellent. Our trusty spring form. Okay. So we'll add this into the spring form. It's gonna be a nice, beautiful Oreo crust for our cake. I'm gonna try something a little bit different today. Meat press. I wanna see how this works inside the spring form. It looks like it's actually pretty darn easy. Look at that. A few presses and we were done. Like, come on. So if I wanna bring it up the sides, which I'm going to do, this was easy to make it level. So this is what we're gonna do. Okay, let's spread this out. We know it's already spread out to the sides, but I wanna make sure I get right up on the edges, about a ½ an inch. So I'm gonna press that down a little bit first, and then we're gonna come back in with the meat press, the meat press afterwards. But we know this is good, a good little method now. This can also work to get it out to the corners and then press up the sides, because that's what I wanna do. Press it right up. It doesn't need to be a thick crust, but a lot of people I found are really enjoying it when I make a thick crust on my cheesecake. So we're gonna keep with that trend here. So I'm gonna get the sides done first. See, it's fairly easy, especially when we're using 35 Oreos, to get that right up the sides. Once the sides are firm, then I'm gonna go ahead and use my meat press on the bottom. But that's looking like a dynamite thick crust here. Spread that out around the sides. Look at that. Look how easy this is. Come on, guys. You guys can do this at home. I know you can. I know you can. Okay? So if we think we're good, let's just make sure the sides are compact all the way up to the top. Well, almost the top. We'll say it's going to be about a 1/2 inch. I am going to even those out a little bit. We're just getting the sides pressed first. Like that. Firm this up around the edge. Doesn't take much using the meat press. I think we're onto something here. That's our crust. Nice. In the oven, 10 minutes. So we have 12 minutes approximately for our crust in the oven. Get our cheesecake batter ready. So cream cheese, we need 3 blocks. 1, 2, and 3. Medium speed. Lock it in. Got 3/4 of a cup. Actually, we'll unlatch. We started off that cream cheese. So 3/4 of a cup white sugar in. Start it up again. Lock it in. Gotta get that cream cheese nice and creamy. Now brown sugar, 1/4 of a cup in. We'll bring that speed up 1. So we're beating this for 3 to 5 minutes until we see that it's nice and creamy, all the sugar's incorporated. Now important here, we'll pause it, and we're just gonna scrape down the sides, okay? We wanna make sure we minimize any potential chunks in that cream cheese. So we're gonna scrape from the sides and also the bottom. Let's not forget out the bottom. Then we can wipe that paddle down as well as best possible. Scrape. Looking good. Any excess. Okay, lock it in. Up. Vanilla just needs a pinch, okay? Teaspoon or less. We're gonna do a pinch of salt. Boom! Off, we'll unlatch for a moment here. Now this is one of my secret ingredients, guys. Instead of sour cream today, we're using Greek yogurt. So I use 4 heaping tablespoons. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. So I say 4 heaping. That's closer to 6 and change. So we'll lock that in again, and on we go. So now for flour, I've got 1 tablespoon and a bit. I want about 2 tablespoons in there. Okay. We're gonna do one more scrape here before we add in the eggs. These eggs are gonna be our final ingredient to really kick up the level of the creaminess of the cheesecake. Okay, as for eggs, we've got 3 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk. So we add them 1 at a time until they're nice and incorporated in there. We'll go egg number 2 in. We've got about 3 minutes left on the crust in the oven. All right, egg number 3 in. Good, I'm gonna prepare the egg yolk here on the side. There's our egg yolk in. So when we've got our best cheesecake game going in the kitchen, we should be able to get the batter ready the amount of time it takes for the crust to get done. I put it in for 12 minutes today. It's 12 minutes here. I can see the countdown. 45 seconds left. We're on target. So the cheesecake now. Ah, the beeper. The beeper on the oven. That's great. So we're almost done here. We had a little problem with our crust. We're gonna see it in a few minutes. First time ever a crust has done that on me. And that is a result of the Oreo not being prepared for this. This is interesting. Okay, let's see if we can get this game back on track. See if we can get this game back on track, okay? So, okay, so that fits. Well, that's sealed up about as best as I'm gonna get today with this small tin foil. Cheesecake batter in. All the way. Look at that, nice and creamy. I smell the peanut butter from the Oreos, that's great. I'm just not happy with the crust. I believe I had too much butter in there. Too much sugar. Everything all of a sudden just whoop. Gotta get it all. Make sure we're spread and even here. Nice, gentle. Good. Good. Okay. Little tap. Hopefully that removed any little air pockets that we may have had in there. In. Good. Good. Okay, now that we're in, we can add more water. In the oven it goes. Careful. Don't have to splash the water around too much. In. 350, 10 minutes, and then we'll lower it down to 3 1/4. Very careful here. So check this out. Just jiggly, see? Watch. Whoops, I almost ruined it. Just, see how there's a little jiggle in there? In that cake, little jiggle. That's good. So now we've turned the heat right off, and we're going to, ooh, that's hot. Just crack the door. Okay, first things first, you've got to get some chocolate chopped, guys. This is the dark chocolate, nice little dark chocolate ganache that we're going to put on top. So we'll just rough chop and then we'll melt it off in the microwave. We'll add a little bit of heavy cream in there. Okay, we also need a few squares of our white chocolate. Not too much. We don't need too much in terms of the white. So we'll go 3 squares of the white chocolate. Should be more than enough for what we're going to do. Chop that up as well. For the topping, we need a few more Oreos. So we need 2, 3. That'll give us 6 pieces. We're going to make a little bit of a clock. So hopefully these come out with a clean cut on the Oreo. Good. So 1, we have our Oreo pieces. Now we also need some Reese. Need 6 half pieces, so 3 whole ones there. So let's get those done first. This is for extra decoration and extra peanut butter on our cake. If you want to do them in pieces of 6, you can certainly do that, or go smaller chunks like that to be able to spread around. So we'll go that way. And then across, just to get different types of chunks in here, okay? Adds a little bit more design and flair, and then we'll even do some that are gonna be smaller, okay? We'll add those on. We've got it melted, nice, creamy. Just gonna add in a teaspoon or 2 of cream. 1, 2. Look at that. Look at that. This is gonna be beautiful. Nice added chocolate flavor on top of our cheesecake. It's thickening this up a little bit. Good, chocolate ready. Okay, we have white chocolate. Same thing, just a splash. We don't need too much here because there's certainly not as much white chocolate. First, let's do the pop all the way out. Looks good. Do we have to separate a little bit? We do. I want to make sure that comes out nice and clean. Yeah, we're good. It released. Nice. Excellent. Look at that crust. So in there, check that out. That's our peanut butter Oreo crust. Beautiful. Beautiful. We've got cheesecake up the other half, cheesecake all the way down. But now for the real moment of truth, okay? We have to pop. So be very careful here. We go around. We didn't use any sort of parchment paper, so we've got to get in a little bit right there. Be very careful. One half. We'll go around a few different areas there. Another half. It's looking good right now. Looking good, okay. One more here, make sure it's loose. We've got to get in there. Looking good. And over here. Got to make sure it releases from everywhere. Okay, I think we're good. So we're going to gently slide in our foil tray underneath. Cake right up, and we're good. We made it. We made it. There we go. Now, we can get to decorating. So check that crust out. Look at all that nice Oreo cookie. It's nice. It's firm. Cheesecake firm. No cracks on there, you can see. Check that out. Okay, we've got no cracks on our cheesecake, so that looks really nice. Right in there. Boom! Wow. That looks great. Looks great, it really does.